So this webinar is being run every 6 weeks, and that means that we have 2 more coming this year. On the 16th of October, right after Directions, where we will bring you also the latest insights from Directions, and on the 27th of November, and that will be the last one for this year, because then everybody will be focused on closing the business for this year. So we will be doing new webinars early next year then. So today we're going to talk about the Microsoft Inspire, which is formerly named WPC. We're going to look at what is the product branding and updates on the Business Edition, and we're also going to talk about product availability, and on timing we are looking at a 30-minute presentation, and while afterwards you can have the possibility to ask me some questions. So in July we went with a quite good team to Microsoft Inspire to get all the latest insights from Microsoft, and it was good to see that even on the main stages, Microsoft Dynamics was again presented as one of the 4 pillars that Microsoft is focusing on for the next couple of years. While this is of course never a guarantee with a company like Microsoft, it's still good that we can see over the last few years that Dynamics remains an important pillar in the Microsoft strategy. And one of the interesting things that was shared there is that if we look at the go-to-market for users that are looking for financials, operations, or CRM systems, that we now have basically 3 possibilities to sell to that customer. On the left side, we have the out of the box product, and this is basically which is named Office 365 Business Center, and basically this is a free set of features that's being launched with Office 365 from E3 onwards, and it's a small invoicing, a small CRM, and a small marketing solution aimed at those customers with limited requirements, but that are interesting enough to capture as a customer so that you can grow your business while they grow their companies. The other one is the middle pillar is the Business Edition, where we call it as a financial experience, and this is a full ERP system, but you can set a switch inside NAV that will make sure that the screens are a little bit easier to understand and a little bit less cluttered with a lot of information. Basically as a next step from the invoicing app that you have from the Business Center. And then of course, in the end, you still have the full NAV experience that you can run in the cloud, where you have all the features that NAV has, but in a cloud or a SaaS solution. This is something that's not available at this moment because the Dynamics 365 version that's now live in the UK is still a version with not all functionality available, but this is the future where we expect Microsoft to be within, well, let's say a year or so, that the online version of NAV will have the same capacities and capabilities as the Dynamics 365 Business Edition. So this means that when you are doing marketing or you're getting leads, that providing them with an answer saying, well, we're selling you the Dynamics 365 Business Edition, you might want to think, well, do I also start to resell the Business Center opportunity? And in which experience will I be selling Dynamics 365 Business Edition? Well, if you want to have more information about this Office 365 Business Center, here's a link to a blog and also where it is said what's going to be the availability. And at the moment, this solution is being rolled out in the US and Canada. And we expect that to come to Europe also next year to provide an easy transition from small companies that only need Office to a set of functionalities and programs that are more business oriented already. And of course, if we look at the size of the organization on the left hand and the complexity that a company will have, that means that over time you could, for instance, start by selling them just a Microsoft Surface with Microsoft 365, which I'll explain in a second. Then we can upsell them to Office 365. We can upsell to the Business Center. We can upsell to Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and we can then sell Microsoft Dynamics Finances and Operations. And of course, the industry where the customer is situated in will drive the speed and complexity of which solution is needed over time. But with this full set of software packages, you can actually start doing something that we call wave selling, and that means that you start something today, but you already know that in a year time or 1.5 year time, they will need an extra or bigger solution for their companies. And that is, of course, a very interesting concept to look at, and also something that. Oh, somebody's mic is on, and well, at least there's a good laughter. So if somebody could close down their mic, thank you so much. I hope it wasn't something I said that was very funny. And of course, in that way, in wave selling, and also using your CRM system to record the wave that a customer is in, you can make sure that you can keep on making money on those same customers that you spend a lot of money on when you were attracting them. Well, maybe you've already seen, but I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that the old name, well, old 2 months, was Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Edition Finance. And now that's being renamed to Finance and Operations. And if you go to the Microsoft site and you click on Finance and Operations, it will ask you, do you want the Enterprise Edition or the Business Edition? So the naming has been made similar, which will be more effective in the marketing from Microsoft, of course. But do be advised that if you see Finance and Operations, that you still need to find out, are we talking now about Enterprise Edition, basically based on AX, or are we talking about the Business Edition that's being used with NAV? Well, what I want to show you is some. Thank you. So here's I'm going to show you 3 slides with some overviews of the functionality that each of the 3 pillars will provide your customers with. So I think Finance and Operations is the more easy one because basically it's an ERP system. But if we look at the marketing side, then we can see the functionalities that will be available in that solution. And for instance, there's a possibility to do multi-channel campaigns, so either via email, web, and social events. And it's also going to be working together with the Dynamics 365 Sales product, which is the next slide. And in the end, of course, this is basically a CRM system being named Dynamics 365 for Sales. And the biggest difference with the Enterprise Edition will be the way you can customize it. And this product is now available as a preview for a limited set of partners. But I think the timing is that as of the 1st of November, this will be available in a public preview in a number of countries, and I have the details for you on that on the next slides. And actually, these were the slides that we have seen during the sessions at Inspire. So it's good. It's a Microsoft source that gave us to this. Then we have something that's being launched, which is Microsoft 365, and basically that is again a packaging of different products. So we are packaging Office 365 with Windows 10 with a set of EMS functionalities. At the moment, that again is only available in the US, Canada, and United Kingdom, but also over the next few months, this will become available in Europe as well. Pricing at this moment is €20 per user per month for a full Windows license, a full Office 365 license that was too fast, and a set of EMS functionalities. So there are some partners at the moment that are already selling Dynamics 365 for Sales. And while this product is not available yet as in general availability, there is a transition SKU with a different pricing, which is presented in this slide. So you can take that as a reference offline. For those people that have offices in the UK or are interested in the UK, is that the business edition for financials and operations is now live and being sold in the UK. And the price at this moment is around 30 euros just for the financials and operations SKU, and that translates to about 32 euros. And what we expect that there's going to be also what we call a business edition plan, and the plan will be roughly about 50 euros, but then it will also include the Dynamics marketing and Dynamics sales software and products. So probably these are the slides that everybody was waiting for. So this is what is going to be available in Q3. So what the for the different versions, and if it's going to be general available or as a preview. So we can see that the US, UK, Canada, the finance and operations platform is now available. For Q4, we expect availability for the Netherlands and Denmark to be added to that. And then also we will have a massive availability of the dynamic sales app, and the marketing app is believed to become a reality in H1 of calendar year 2018. So these are all calendar years and not fiscal years. So of course there's a lot of information that you get from Microsoft and other parties about Dynamics 365, and again, even as a company like QBS, we sometimes feel dizzy about all the information that we get. So we have tailored a program that's called the Route 366, and basically that means that for any party that has a wish to become active with the Dynamics 365 platform, either in a selling mode, a sell and service mode, or you want to connect an external system with Dynamics 365, or you want to transform your current IP to AppSource, we have a program for that basically takes you through the steps of converting your IP or getting trained on Dynamics 365 or getting trained on how to sell it. And I will be not going into the specifics of that today. I would like you to remember that we have such an offering, and that if you have interest in getting help with the transition, my email address will be at the end of the presentation. So that would be the fastest way to get information about that. So I'm going to skip these slides. Then I have three more useful links. As QBS, we have a OneNote file where we try to put all the information and links and videos and blogs that we find on Dynamics 365 that are relevant to be there. So that's a good reference point for you. There's a site from Microsoft where the roadmap of the Business and Enterprise Edition are being published, so you can see which features are coming and which features are now currently available. And you can still run a trial from the Dynamics 365 US version that you can use to show your customers. Well, this is a screenshot of the OneNote file that we have. Of course, the two big events to stay up to date with all the information are the two Directions events that are coming up. At Directions EMEA, also the QBS team will be there delivering 5 breakout sessions, and we will be probably bringing 15 people to Directions. So if you want to interact or learn what we can do for you, that would be a perfect timing. And also for QBS partners, there's an attractive way to get into these events, and you can find the link at the bottom. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. Some of the content was also being presented the last time, but we know we had some audio challenges the last time, so that's why we wanted to repeat the content also today. And we were expecting a little bit more content from Inspire, but that has mainly been pushed to Directions. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. If you have any questions, the IM window is now open to ask questions, and I'll be happy to try to answer that. So it seems that either I've been very clear or there's no more questions at this time. Oh, if in the future you have a question, my email address is at this slide. Please never hesitate to contact me. The worst thing that can happen is that it takes a little time for me to reply. So thank you everybody for joining. Good luck with the business this month, and I hope to see you all in real person in directions or in my next QBS talk about Dynamics 365 on the 16th of October. Thank you so much.
There is a question in the chat, Sven.
Ah, there is a question. Let me see if I can. Yes, just try to include support and who supports the product. Yeah, nope. Just basic support for Microsoft. So that you normally get, if you have a question about the a function or feature, there's also always Microsoft, but like a real support to customers, like how do I enter a customer or how do I enter an item, that's something that is provided by the partner themselves. And for that you have an SLA that you have with that customer. You're welcome, Suzanne. Any more questions from this lovely audience? Remarks? Anything? All right, then I'll be closing down this call. Again, please use the email address if you have any questions or the contact form on our site. And I do thank you very much for your attendance today. Thank you.